What's going on, guys? Kitbash here, bringing you another video. This time it is of something I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna call it a part one. I made a video a while ago talking about how I make custom action figures, the process. And in this one, I just wanted to go over how I parts farm and how I pick what parts I'm gonna use for what projects. Before we get started, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. Drop a comment, drop a like, and let's get into it. So pretty much, I got the new Logan in front of you, but pretty much what I do is, when I'm looking for parts and pieces, what I do is I look at a lot of reference pictures. And I'm gonna pull some figures out just so you guys can get reference on where I'm about to go with this. I look at a lot of reference pictures of the character I want to make and what different looks he has, and because every artist has their own interpretation. There might be a video game version, there might be some version you never heard of or saw or whatever. So pretty much I just I look at a lot of reference pictures and I see which one I like the most, and I go from there. So once I find the outfit I like the most, I pretty much look at my figures and look at what figures have what parts I need. So I know I have a bunch of new figures in front of you too, because before, I guess, this year, it was really slim pickings with different boots and legs and arm combinations. So a lot of new figures have been coming out, which really helped the process. A lot of these figures, I just dropped Beachhead, but a lot of these figures will really help the process depending on what type of figure you want to make. If you want to make an army-based figure, you're going to go with the G.I. Joe figures. They're a little shorter than most figures, but you have a good base for an army guy right here. These are good bases for pretty much anything involving military, anything involving what is the word I'm looking for? Mercenaries, marauders, whatever you're looking for. These would be great bases for that. And then they come in different sizes too. So that's what I find really awesome. Like, you got Roadblock, which is a way bigger figure. Roadblock's a way bigger figure than Beachhead, as you can see. So if I'm not even on camera, but yeah, it's a way bigger figure. So you could do different sizes and different color, you could do different skin tones for these people and everything. So I know if I'm doing mercenaries, the first thing I'm looking for is the military look, which you can kind of get. Let me move these back. You can kind of get from Hawkeye here and Cable if you're looking for Marvel Legends. Hawkeye, let me move them over. Hawkeye and Cable really have the mercenary look. Cable's only downside is this arm, but I'm pretty sure you could swap it in. Or you could just make a futuristic mercenary as a metal arm. Swap the head with something else. But Hawkeye, for the most part, has these really nice baggy pants, these boots. All of this is new, by the way. So all of these new parts, and pretty much, say I wanted Cable to not have such baggy at the top and then thin at the bottom, I would just swap these legs over here. And my process for that, I have a video, I'll put the card up right now. My process for that is pretty simple. Usually I would try it with these legs, with these legs on this crotch, and if that doesn't fit, I'll just swap the whole crotch over from the belt down over here and see how that looks. That's generally how I go about things. Like I said, after I look at my reference pictures, I go from there. So I look at my reference pics, I just Google whatever I'm looking for, and I don't just look at one picture. I mean, I do, I pick one picture as the reference, and I spiral from there. So I look at all different versions of that same type of costume. Because you have some people will have a costume for, let's say, Old Man Hawkeye. Somebody will have a costume for it on Google or whatever website they put it on, and it'll be on Google for the images. And there'll be different people who design a costume based on this certain costume. So if you get what I'm saying, it happens a lot with MCU stuff. People will do comic versions, but MCU style, like with Falcon. They did a lot of Falcon suits, so it's kind of, you can go any which way you want. Like I did my custom Falcon. I'll put a card to that right now. Custom Falcon I did was based on a few different versions of, I can't even pull it down because can I reach it? No, I can't. But it was based on a few different versions of Falcon costume that I'd seen, and most people do it. They take the comic colors and put it on a figure. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it really subtle and normal, like a regular suit would be. But anyway, so for me, when I say I wanted to make a cowboy, perfect example. Say I wanted to make this Logan have a hat and a long jacket. And I could take these arms too. These arms are kind of short though. But that's pretty much what I do. I just match up my parts and I see what I got available. If I don't have it, I'll pretty much just try to look for fodder on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. But I wanted to make a cowboy Logan. I know, for example, these ball pegs might not be the same size. They are, ironically. That doesn't look too bad either. Say I wanted to make a cowboy Logan. Now from here, I swap the heads and then I go by what face I want him to have. So if I want him to have a comic face, that can work, but he's a little dark. Or I could do it this way, which is something I do a lot, is I'll look at what I do with the parts I have. This headpiece is a separate piece, so I know it comes off. I'll just heat this up a lot, pop this hair off. Same thing with this hat, heat this up a lot, pop the hat off, and see where the hat falls, and I'll just cut this hair off based on that. But that's pretty much what I do. I go through and I look at my parts. Like, say I wanted him to have more of a square cowboy boot versus the round one this one came with, I'll just swap the boots over and I'll go from there. That's pretty much my process on how I look for parts for these figures. Most times I just try stuff. I get a lot of questions on what paints and what this and what that. And a lot of this is just doing stuff. You just have to do it and see what works. Some stuff will work. Some stuff you'll swap over. The arms will be too short. Arms will be too long. And you could tell. Some people, like I saw some people post, they'll post customs. It'll be like a skinny body, like a Bucky cap. Be one of these bodies. This is a Bucky cap body. They'll take this body and put Grim Reaper arms on it, which are really long for this body, and just doesn't look right. I like my stuff to look decent. I like it to look passable. I like it to look how it's supposed to look, you know. So that's my process based on that. And then when you say you want to do cross-genre customs, which is kind of not cross-genre, but cross-like manufacturer, I guess you could say. Like something like this is a little more involved. So say I wanted to, just for the sake of it, I wanted to put these legs on this Logan. I know it's a lot more involved because, one, it's a different company. And two, the system for the waist is totally different. Like this one, I had to put some work in to get apart. I know on this figure, because I've modified a few of them, that these legs with some heat will just pop off because they're just basically, if you can see in there, it's basically a mushroom peg on the waist and the hip has a receiving connector and they just pop on and off. So I know if I wanted to put these legs on a Marvel Legend, I would have to pop the Marvel Legend apart and find some kind of way to make that a ball socket, because this is a ball socket waist. It's a ball waist in there. You can't see it because he has a pretty good, they covered it pretty good in there. But I know it's a ball socket waist because I've taken apart a few of these figures for modifications. But I would have to modify that, and most times I'll take what's going to be the most fodder. So say this one's going to be the most trash afterwards. I'll take the parts out of here and just swap them in there. And that's hot glue, super glue, however you want to do it. I like hot glue a lot because it holds a lot, especially if you have a temperature controlled room. It holds really well. I've hot glued some torsos before and they've never come apart. So it's all about the process and how you go about things. Like some people just slap stuff together, and that's fine. It's all depending on how you want to do things. Like if you want to slap it together and call it a custom, that's fine. But I'm just here to tell you there's ways to do it where it looks good. It doesn't have to look like, you know, slapped together and thrown together. But yeah, that's the process though. That's the process I go about. So like I said, if I wanted anything military style, I know I'm going here. I'm going this direction. And you can, like I said, you can even throw in Old Man Hawkeye, because that could be a merc too. He could just be a bow using merc. And you could swap the arms with something else, I'm sure. If this is on camera, I got to remember my camera is more to the left. I'm always to the right. But I know if I'm going military style, anything military, almost knocked over Hawkeye. Anything military style, anything military involved, I know I can go anywhere with here. Like these two, actually crazy. Beachhead is as tall as Cable. But I know I can mix and match a lot of these parts and pieces, and it'll look passable. I know it'll look cohesive, except for Roblox. I wouldn't put Roblox parts on anybody. But yeah, I know if I wanted, let me get into some different types of bodies. I know if I wanted a big, like, don't fall. If I wanted a bigger character who had like a bodysuit, like say I wanted to make a Sabretooth. I see a lot of people using Caliban to make Sabretooth, which is an awesome body to make Sabretooth on. But let's say I wanted to make a Sabretooth and I see that this came out Omega Red's really hard to get right now. So I know I want Sabretooth to be bigger than Wolverine. Here's Wolverine. I know I want him to be bigger than Wolverine. And you can use any body you want. Let me see if I don't have the bigger body out. I don't have a bigger body I can grab. Oh wait, Cable. But he doesn't have a bodysuit, so no, that's not it. I don't have a bigger body I can grab. But let's say you wanted to use the Hyperion body. I do have a Hercules body though. I don't think I've ever showed you guys this, but it's another custom I was working on. Let's say you wanted to make Sabretooth bigger. Now, here's a few different bodies. Well, not for several Wolverine. Here's two different bodies here, and this one is the new Warpath, which is on the Omega Red body. And here's this Hercules upper torso, pretty much Hercules all the way down to the legs, to the knees, and then these are crossbones, lower legs. I got this recipe from my boy Ace Outlaw Customs. Check him out on Instagram. He slapped this one together really quick, and I really wanted to do it myself. So here it is. I got to glue the belt and seal it, but other than that, it's pretty solid. Now back to what I was saying. You can take like the Hercules upper torso is a great upper torso, but then you have to find legs, and the Hercules upper torso doesn't match with a lot of legs because it's bigger than the Hyperion mold. Is it bigger or smaller? I think it's smaller than the Hyperion mold in the waist. So it would be hard to make a Sabretooth. Actually, I have a Sabretooth right here. But here's a Sabretooth. And like I said, a lot of people are putting Sabretooth on a Caliban. I don't have the Caliban to show you. But yeah, is that all on camera? It is. Let me move them over though, because like I said, I keep forgetting this to the left. So yeah, here's the Sabretooth body, which is a Hyperion mold, which is a terrible body for any figure, especially one. I know he's not the most agile, but he's pretty much agile, and he's supposed to be able to do some crazy shit. But his body's really limited in the chest and the legs and everything. So let's just say you wanted to put him on a bigger body. Now, me personally, Caliban is too big for my taste, so I would either go Hercules upper torso with some kind of legs or straight to the Warpath body. Since Warpath is so easy to get, let me show you how easy this can be. You can get Warpath on Big Bad Toy Store right now, but let me show you how easy this can be and the way I go about it. So firstly, what I do is I see what all comes off a figure. So I know Warpath. I never popped his head off before. I didn't. There we go. I know Warpath, at least the hands, the wrist things, all of this will come off. So now you have a starting base for a Sabretooth. You just have to pop these off. But you have a starting base for Sabretooth, and then I see what I can swap over from this point. So I go here, which is the head. I know this is going to come off. See, he doesn't have a peg in his back. Let me turn it around. He doesn't have a peg in his back. This has a peg, so I know if I was to put this on here, I have to cut that peg off, and I'll have to glue it. So you can see how wonky that looks. And I see if the head fits, which it does. See, the head fits pretty good. Let's see if these hands pop out. They do. See if the hands fit. So the hands fit actually really good in there. So I know off top that the parts will come off of off this Sabretooth body and fit perfectly on this. I won't say Hyperion. The parts will come off the Sabretooth body, which is Hyperion mold, and fit right on this Omega Red body. Why Hasbro hasn't done this, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but we're here now. So, and the head's loose, actually. You can see the head's pretty loose if I'm on camera. The head's pretty loose on this body, so I know I'm going to have to tighten it up with some hot glue or whatever. But that's pretty much how I run down my parts. If I wanted to make a bigger version, I know I would have to. And then after this, I know the painting thing is a big thing for me. I don't like to paint, so that's usually why I wait and I'll see what they do. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to get a Venom or a Sabretooth or both probably on this body pretty soon. We still got to get AOA Sabretooth, and he'd be perfect on his body. But I know after I pick my body, which would obviously be the Omega Red mold, which is Warpath now. After that, see, I put him on this body. I know I like this, but my curiosity would lead me to think it would look decent on the Hercules body too. So I'm going to swap all this stuff on that body too. So pop this head off. I know these armbands come off. I know all of this stuff comes off because I've taken it off already. So we take that head. It fits on that peg. It fits actually pretty good. See, no peg hole again. So I know, again, I would have to cut this off. Pop that on there, and let's see if this hand fits in this hole. A lot of these pegs be different sometimes, so it fits. And honestly, these arms look a lot better than the Warpath arms from the shoulder down. I like the way that looks. I really like the way that looks. The Hercules body, both of these body molds are really underutilized from Hasbro. I don't even know if y'all can see what I'm doing because there's a lot going on. Okay, you can. But yeah, that's the process I go through. So I just part swap first, and then once I find what I'm looking for, like this one looks good. I like the arms, so what I would try to do too, I would personally try to swap these arms over. And I know I could tell you off top, it's going to be a wonky fit because these shoulders are bigger than these. So my chances of getting this over here and it looking good are like, they're slim. Sometimes it works out because the sculpt is different. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I do like the definition of these arms personally more than these. That's just like I keep saying, that's just what I go through when I do it. I part swap, and then once I part swap and I know everything fits good, that's how I determine what body I use. And I go from there. And the same thing goes for when I'm doing smaller figures. Smaller figures are actually easier to customize to me because a lot of the parts can be interchangeable. Let me put this back on the shelf. I need to clear that one. I'll do a video on that one soon. I don't think I didn't even bring it down. I was talking about the customs I did. But yeah, I know for a fact that that's the route I would go. See, this head's even loose on here. This is from the Toy Biz Sabretooth. I had to Dremel it out because I like this head better than the one they gave us. But I know for, like, if I was going for that body, I would go Warpath, one, because it's easier to get. Hercules is really expensive right now. It's an amazing figure. But I would go Warpath only because it's more readily available. Unless you know somebody's selling fodder Hercules, and go for it. But like I said, that's the process I run through when I'm doing my customs and stuff like that, because I don't like to sculpt. So if I can avoid sculpting, I will. For a fact. Is this left? Give me 1 second. So yeah, I didn't even do the size comparison, but that's the difference you would get if you were to use this body with for a Sabretooth. That height difference is awesome. Not to say the other one isn't, but this one just looks more, because I base a lot of my stuff on animated series look, so that would be perfect for a Sabretooth. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do when I'm looking for my parts for customs. That's how I go about it. You know, it's a really simple process. It takes no time at all, really, to just, you know, figure out what you want to use and go from there. I really do. It's one of my favorite things to do. You know, I like mocking parts up. Like when I did my War Machine custom, I think I got 2 of those videos, so I'll put both those cards coming up. But when I did that War Machine custom, just mocking up the parts it really helps you see where things are going to go versus just doing it versus winging it and then going from there. I really like, I really like the whip phase of customs. I do, because it could go any direction from there. And some stuff really works out, some stuff doesn't, and you just go from there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Just a little bit of information. I want to keep bringing y'all like little videos, not little videos, but longer videos like this, so you can get a better idea for customizing. I get a lot of questions, and I'm not the greatest, but I think my work for what I do is really good. I really like the work that I put out. So if I can help you guys along the way too, that'd be awesome. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. If I'm rambling too much, if I went off topic, but leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.